It is impossible to assess whether someone is autistic or not by looking in on the outside, let alone from a 2 minute chopped up edited video. And in an effort to create more inclusivity and sort of dismantle these ableist beliefs that society may hold, I want to address this comment. I don't feel in my heart that this person had any sort of ill intentions with this comment. I think that this comment just shows that this person doesn't fully understand autism and doesn't fully understand disabilities. Let's start with this. Autism is mostly invisible. The ironic thing is that the video that this comment was left on is me talking about my internal experience of being an autistic person. I have lower support needs autism, and this means that my autism might not always be visible on the outside. My stems are more subtle. My social differences tend to be masked by me being shy or me being quiet. But my autistic experience is not something that can be perceived from the outside, especially by a neurotypical person who doesn't really understand what it's like to live in the shoes of someone who is autistic. There is no one way that autism looks. Of course, I'm going to be different than a child with autism. I'm going to be different than a female with autism. I'm going to be different than another male who's autistic. Because they say if you know one autistic person, you know exactly that, just one autistic person. And all of us who are autistic are also all unique human beings. And of course, we share these similarities of being neurodivergent, but this neurodivergence presents in so many different ways. It is inappropriate, and I would say it is pretty ableist to say it's hard to believe that you don't have blank when talking about invisible disabilities. And I'm using autism as an example here, but this could even go to something like anxiety or depression. It's hard to believe that you have depression because you always seem happy. That just isn't how it works. And on the other end of things, it can be invalidating to some people. I feel like personally, I've done a lot of work these past few months on self-love, self-acceptance, on discovering my own worth. And so comments like these don't necessarily trigger me as much, but it does frustrate me because there just still is this general lack of understanding of autism amongst society. But say for someone who is being extremely vulnerable and sharing their personal details about their life to instantly be invalidated, instantly be judged, instantly be contradicted by someone who knows nothing about them, that can't feel good for that person on the receiving end. It is so important when someone shares these aspects of their life to listen to them. And you might not believe them. That's your own thing. That's your own thing to deal with. But it's not up to you to put your own assumptions onto them. It's not up to you to judge them, and it's not your place to tell them straight up that you don't believe them. As a society as a whole, we need to start listening to autistic people more. There is always more that we can learn, and I hope that by sharing this message in this video, you as a viewer will also do your part to understand these things more, to try to dismantle these ableist beliefs that autism or any sort of disability or difference has to look a certain way, and then discounting one's own vulnerable shared experience because of your illusioned idea of how it needs to look. We just need to end that. It's not healthy for society. It's not compassionate. And really it is just ego based. And so let's love each other. Let's accept one another, and let's continue to create a more inclusive world.